Look around you. Comfort is everywhere, mediocrity is normalized, and people are sleepwalking through life. But not you, not anymore, because deep down you know something's wrong, you feel it. The urge to break free, to rise, to take control. This isn't about motivation. This is a call to war. Against the version of you that settles. The time for waiting is over. The time for weakness is over. It's time to rise. Time to sharpen your edge, to kill the noise, and build the life you were meant for. This is the moment. No more average. No more excuses. You were born for more. Comfort is seductive. It whispers in your ear telling you you've done enough, that you deserve a break, that you can coast a little longer, and in small doses, sure, rest is necessary. But when comfort becomes your baseline, your goal, your daily lifestyle, it transforms from a reward into a trap. Most people don't realize they're living inside that cage until it's too late. The walls of comfort are invisible. They look like the job you tolerate because it's safe. They look like the same routine every day, the same excuses, the same lack of urgency. And worst of all, comfort disguises itself as success, just enough money to survive, just enough energy to get by, just enough confidence to say, I'm doing okay. But okay is not where you're meant to stay. Okay is not living. It's maintaining, and maintenance is a slow death if it's not accompanied by growth. The real problem is that comfort numbs you. It doesn't scream, it whispers. It tells you not to try so hard. It convinces you that risk is dangerous and that ambition is unrealistic. It feeds your fear of failure and wraps it in the illusion of security. So you stay in the same city, work the same job, hang around the same people, and wonder why nothing ever changes. You can feel that gnawing inside of you, that knowing, that you're capable of more, but you've muted that voice with cheap dopamine, endless scrolling, and shallow distractions. Comfort has turned you into a version of yourself that's quiet, compliant, and uninspired, and that's exactly what it wants, because comfort is not your friend. It's a prison guard wearing a smile. The people you admire, the ones who rise above the noise, who command respect, who lead, none of them got there through comfort. They got there by stepping into discomfort daily. They chose discipline over laziness. They chose pressure over ease. They said yes to challenges that most people run from. Why? Because they understood something simple. Growth only happens under tension. Just like a muscle, you have to tear yourself a little to build yourself back stronger. But comfort doesn't want that. It tells you that failure is too risky, that embarrassment is too painful, and that trying is too hard, so you never push, you never leap. You stay grounded when you were built to fly, and here's the cruel irony. While comfort feels good in the moment, it creates long-term suffering. The more you chase pleasure now, the more pain you'll face later. But if you endure some discomfort now, if you get up earlier, train harder, focus deeper, you build a life where you're in control. That control doesn't come from luck or talent. It comes from the decision to escape the cage and never go back. But make no mistake, the cage is always there waiting. The moment you let your guard down, it welcomes you back with open arms and soft pillows. And the scariest part, you might not even notice. You might think you're living a decent life, when in reality, you're just existing. That's what comfort does best. It convinces you that mediocrity is success and that surviving is the same as thriving. The cage doesn't lock from the outside. It's self-imposed. It's the result of every time you hit snooze instead of rising, every time you said, I'll do it tomorrow, every time you avoided discomfort when it knocked on your door, but now you have to see it for what it is. Comfort isn't the goal. Comfort is the test. It's the resistance you must overcome to reach the next level of yourself. Most people fail that test. They surrender to the couch, the distractions, the easy route, but you weren't built for that. From the moment you open your eyes in the morning, the world starts pulling at you notifications, responsibilities, distractions, expectations. It's easy to believe that someone, somewhere, will eventually show up and change your life. Maybe an opportunity will fall into your lap. Maybe a mentor will appear and guide you. Maybe someone will see your potential and unlock it for you. That hope, that illusion, is one of the most dangerous traps you can fall into, because the truth is hard, but it's freeing once you accept it. No one is coming to save you. Not your parents, not your boss, not your partner, not the government, not the system. You are the only one who can fix your life. The sooner you take full ownership of that, the sooner things will start to shift. Most people live in waiting mode, waiting for the right time, waiting until they feel ready, waiting for the stars to align. They treat their life like a movie, thinking the hero will enter and change everything. But you are not a spectator. You are the writer, the director, and the main character. And every day you wait, the story gets stale. There is no rescue team. There is no miracle moment coming, and yes, that realization is heavy. It should be, but it's also the beginning of your power. When you stop outsourcing your future to other people or external circumstances, you finally step into the driver's seat of your own life. Blame is easy, it's comfortable. It lets you point fingers and avoid responsibility. You didn't succeed because of your childhood, because of your environment, because of unfair systems, and maybe all those things are true to some extent. But they're not permanent chains unless you decide they are. The moment you say, "This is on me," everything changes. That doesn't mean the game isn't rigged. It might be, but that doesn't mean you stop playing. It means you adapt, evolve, and keep moving forward regardless. That's where strength is built, not in fairness, but in resilience. Responsibility is not a burden, it's a weapon. When you take ownership of your life, you stop waiting and start acting. You begin to build. You stop complaining and start solving. It's not about having all the answers. It's about being willing to find them. That shift in mindset separates those who rise from those who stay stuck. Because while most people are begging for someone to pull them out of the mud, the few who succeed are already crawling out on their own, bleeding and broken if they have to, but moving forward regardless. You have to be ruthless with your excuses. You have to see them for what they are: disguised comfort, designed to keep you still. "I don't have time. I'm too tired. I wasn't given the same chances." All of those may feel valid, but they won't build anything, and the harsh reality is this: the world does not owe you understanding. It rewards results. That might not be fair, but fairness is a luxury. Power is earned through action, through effort, through taking what you need when no one is willing to hand it to you. Deep down, you already know what needs to be done. You've always known, but you've been waiting for permission, for a signal, for the fear to go away. But courage doesn't show up before you move. It shows up because you move. No one is coming to light the fire in your soul. That's your job. You either choose to sit in your situation or rise and change it. You either keep hoping or start building. You're either your own savior or no one is. Discipline isn't just about waking up early, eating clean, or hitting the gym. Those are surface-level habits. Real discipline is about keeping the promises you make to yourself, especially when no one else is watching. It's not about impressing others or proving anything to the outside world. It's about standing in front of the mirror and knowing that you are someone who follows through. Every time you say you're going to do something and you actually do it, you strengthen your identity. You build a relationship with yourself that's rooted in trust. And that's what self-respect is at its core. Trusting your own word, knowing that when you commit to something, it means something. Most people think motivation is the answer, but motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like the weather. One day you feel fired up, the next day you feel empty. Discipline doesn't care how you feel, it's consistent. It doesn't ask for permission or depend on emotion. It's the choice to act according to your values, not your moods. And the truth is, if your behavior only aligns with your goals when you feel like it, you'll never get far. You can't build a powerful life on unstable ground. Discipline is the foundation. It's showing up when it's inconvenient. It's doing the hard things when your mind screams for comfort. That resistance, that's the gate. Discipline is how you push through it. There's a deep sense of dignity that comes from living a disciplined life. When you control your impulses, when you say no to distractions, when you prioritize what matters over what's easy, you begin to carry yourself differently. You don't need applause or validation. You don't need to explain your choices. You know who you are. You start walking with purpose because you've earned your own respect. And that's more powerful than any praise you could receive from someone else, because outside approval fades quickly, but inner integrity, that lasts. It becomes your armor. Lack of discipline isn't just laziness. It's a form of self-abandonment. It's choosing temporary pleasure at the expense of your long-term growth. It's breaking your own heart in slow motion. Every time you hit snooze, scroll endlessly, avoid the work, or lie to yourself about starting tomorrow, you chip away at your confidence. You start to doubt yourself. And when you doubt yourself enough times, you stop trying altogether. That's how most people live, trapped in a loop of false starts and broken promises. Not because they're incapable, but because they've never learned to respect themselves enough to demand more. Self-respect isn't about ego. It's not arrogance. It's not thinking you're better than others. It's about setting a standard for your life and refusing to live beneath it. It's saying, "I matter enough to follow through." It's realizing that discipline is the path to freedom, the freedom to live on your own terms, the freedom to feel good in your body, your mind, your choices. Most people look at discipline as restriction, as limitation, but in truth, discipline is liberation. It removes the chaos, it clears the noise, it puts you in control. If you want real confidence, not the fake kind you wear like a mask, you build it through discipline. Not by talking big, but by acting consistently, day after day, whether anyone sees it or not. That's where the edge comes from. That's where power is built in silence, in repetition, in choosing growth over comfort. And the more you live that way, the more you realize discipline isn't a punishment. It's a gift you give to yourself. It's a declaration that your goals, your future, your life are worth it. Your mind is the battlefield. Every thought you entertain, every belief you reinforce, every perspective you adopt, it all adds up to the life you live. The strongest men and women in the world aren't those with the biggest muscles or loudest voices. They're the ones who have mastered their inner world. They've trained their minds to be calm under pressure, focused in chaos, and unshakable in the face of adversity. Your mind can either be your prison or your power, your curse or your tool. If you neglect it, it will work against you. If you sharpen it, it becomes your most lethal weapon. Most people walk around with dull minds, clouded by distractions, weakened by instant gratification, poisoned by negativity, fear, and comparison. The problem isn't that they're weak, it's that they've never taken their mental strength seriously. They feed their bodies junk. They feed their minds worse, endlessly scrolling, binge, watching, drowning in opinions that don't matter. You become what you consume. So if you're constantly pumping garbage into your brain, how can you expect clarity, focus, and confidence to come out? Sharpening your mind begins with awareness. You need to become the observer of your own thoughts. You need to ask, is this belief helping me or holding me back? Is this fear based in reality or just a limitation I've accepted without question? Most people never do this work. They take their thoughts at face value and let their emotions drive the car. But emotion without discipline is chaos. The mind without structure is dangerous. It drifts, reacts, and spirals. Training your mind means you challenge your patterns, rewrite your beliefs, and take control of your focus like a sniper, not a scattershot. Reading, reflecting, meditating, writing, learning, these aren't just hobbies. They're weapons training. Every time you invest in understanding yourself and the world, you get sharper, more precise, more dangerous. In the best way, you can walk into any room and keep your composure. You can spot manipulation. You can separate emotion from logic. That's power, and it doesn't come from luck or talent. It comes from hours of inner work, from choosing wisdom over noise, from silencing the chaos around you so you can master the chaos within. Your mind also determines how far you're willing to go. Every limit you feel in your body starts in your head. The pain that makes others quit, you can override it. The fear that paralyzes most people, you can train to see it as fuel. The doubt that creeps in when you try something new, you can silence it with action and evidence. But none of that is possible if you let your mind stay soft. Mental softness breeds excuses, delays, and stagnation. A sharpened mind sees problems before they arrive. It finds solutions where others see obstacles. It adapts, recalibrates, and keeps moving. Sharpening your mind is not a one-time event. It's a daily grind, a ritual. You have to protect your mental environment like a warrior guards his camp. That means cutting out toxic people, limiting exposure to useless noise, and feeding your brain with content that challenges you, not comforts you. You don't get stronger by hearing what you already agree with. You grow by facing what makes you uncomfortable and forcing your brain to evolve. Every time you do something hard, every time you resist the easy way out, every time you sit with your thoughts instead of running from them, you're sharpening your weapon. Because at the end of the day, your circumstances might change. Your body might get tired, your finances might fluctuate, but your mind, that's the one thing you carry with you in every situation, every decision, every battle. So sharpen it like your life depends on it, because it does. Pain is one of the greatest teachers you'll ever have, but most people spend their entire lives running from it. They treat pain like a curse, like something to be avoided at all costs. But pain is not the enemy. Pain is the signal. Pain is the proof that you're alive, that you're pushing, that you're growing. The real enemy isn't discomfort, it's stagnation. It's that invisible force that keeps you standing still while convincing you you're fine. The most dangerous place you can be is not in pain, but in numbness, in that dead space where nothing grows, nothing hurts, and nothing changes. Growth has a price. It costs you comfort. It costs you familiarity. It costs you your old self. And yes, sometimes it costs you peace. But only the shallow, artificial kind that comes from hiding in the same place for too long. Real peace, the kind that comes from knowing you faced the fire and didn't flinch, comes only through pain, through discomfort, through doing what most people avoid. Every break through you want in life lives on the other side of some kind of pain, mental pain, emotional pain, physical pain, not suffering without purpose, but pain that refines you, the kind that tests your limits and reveals your strength. Think about the gym. You break the muscle so it can rebuild stronger. Without that tear, there is no growth. The same applies to your character, your mindset, your life. The resistance you feel when you push for more, that's the sharpening process. It's the pressure that forces you to level up. And if you never lean into that pressure, you stay soft, you stay stagnant, you stay weak. Pain, when channeled correctly, becomes fuel. It drives you. It keeps you grounded. It makes your victories real. Without it, everything is hollow. Everything is shallow. But society teaches you the opposite. It teaches you to chase comfort. Like it's the goal. Avoid pain, numb the stress, sedate the anxiety, entertain yourself endlessly so you never have to sit with your discomfort long enough to understand it. But that comfort becomes a coffin. You stop risking. You stop reaching. You stop evolving. You settle. And one day, you look back and realize you avoided pain so successfully that you avoided life altogether. That's what stagnation does. It slowly kills your hunger, your curiosity, your ambition. Not all at once, bit by bit, quietly. There's a type of pain that hurts, and there's a type of pain that heals. The pain of effort, of stretching beyond your limits, of chasing something greater than where you are now. That pain builds you. It molds you into someone sharper, tougher, wiser. But the pain of staying the same, the pain of regret, of wondering what could have been, of living beneath your potential, that pain rots you from the inside. And the worst part is, it doesn't come suddenly. It creeps in slowly until you're surrounded by a life you didn't choose, but one you tolerated into existence. If you're feeling pain right now, good. That means you're still alive. It means there's still time to transform it into something meaningful, but you have to stop treating pain like a threat. You have to stop flinching every time life hits back. The punches are coming either way. You can either duck and hide, or you can learn to take the hit and throw one back. Stagnation never punches you, but it strangles you. Slowly, it convinces you to do nothing, and doing nothing is far more dangerous than failing. At least failure teaches you. At least failure moves you forward. Time is the most valuable asset you will ever have, and the most misunderstood. Unlike money, you can't earn more of it. Unlike possessions, you can't replace it. Once it's gone, and yet most people spend their time like it's endless. They waste it on distractions, on drama, on things that don't move them forward. They act like tomorrow is guaranteed, like they've got years in the bank to play with. But the clock is always ticking, whether you notice or not. Every second that passes is a second you'll never get back. Every hour you spend mindlessly is an hour you could have invested in building, growing, evolving. And one day, when the time is truly gone, all the excuses, the delays, the procrastination, none of it will matter. People guard their money, they guard their belongings, but they give away their time like it's worthless. Hours spent scrolling, days spent overthinking, weeks spent avoiding hard conversations, hard work, and hard truths. If someone robbed your bank account, you'd be furious. But your time is being stolen every day, by others, by your own habits, by the fear of starting. And most people don't even flinch. That's the difference between the ones who rise and the ones who stay stuck. The successful, the disciplined, the focused. They treat time like it's gold. They plan it. They protect it. They spend it with purpose. The truth is, you don't lack time. You lack urgency. You tell yourself you'll start next week, next month, next year, when things are more stable, when you feel more ready. But that moment never comes. It's an illusion. The longer you wait, the more time you burn. Life doesn't wait for you to be ready. It moves. The people you admire, they're not smarter or luckier. They just stopped wasting time. They stopped chasing perfection and started taking action, because they understood the clock doesn't pause for doubt, for fear, or for anyone. You have to wake up every day with the awareness that time is slipping, not to be afraid of it, but to respect it, to use it with intention. Time is your tool, your currency, your leverage. With it, you can build anything. Without it, you're stuck in survival mode. And if you think you're young or you've got time to spare, understand this. Youth isn't a license to waste time. It's your greatest opportunity to build a foundation strong enough to carry you for decades. The earlier you get serious about time, the more freedom you'll create later. Every dream you have requires time, time to learn, time to build, time to fail and recover and try again. And if you're not carving that time out now, you're not serious about the goal. You are just fantasizing. You say you want to succeed, but does your calendar reflect that? Do your daily actions match your vision? Because vision without execution is just a wish, and execution takes time. Time spent in the grind, in the quiet, in the repetition that no one sees. That's where real progress happens. Not in the big moments, but in how you use your time between them. The clock is always running. Whether you use your time or lose, it is up to you. And while others sleepwalk through their days, trapped in the loop of comfort and distraction, you have the choice to wake up, to reclaim your hours, to treat time as the resource it truly is. The one asset that defines every result you'll ever achieve. You can't save time. You can't stretch it. You can't only spend it, and the way you spend it will ultimately define your life. Every second you hesitate, someone else is using that same second to outwork you, outgrow you, outlive you. You don't get today back. You don't get this moment again. This is your time to choose. Keep living in the shadows of your potential, or rise and take what's yours. The world owes you nothing, but you owe yourself everything. No more mediocrity. No more delay. Stand up. Lock in. Take control. The war has already started. Win it.